So I just had the opportunity to go ahead and test out the Alpha 6300 along with the 70-200 f4 optical stabilized lens. As far as the performance that I had with shooting baseball, I was actually very impressed. Even with the 70-200, you do kind of want a little more reach on the camera, so having the Alpha 6300 really helps with that. I went ahead and shot some video footage and took some photos, so you can go ahead and see some of those examples. But overall, the camera worked really well. It was very responsive. I mean, I used the 7D Mark II as far as the camera of choice for shooting these types of events. One thing that I am interested in seeing is how the Sigma MC11 adapter works out for the Sigma 120-300 art lens, because having that lens along with the Alpha 6300 will give it better compatibility, but more flexibility with its performance. So I'm very excited to see what ends up happening. It'll give you a little bit more reach for these types of sports. So we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. But first of all, just talking about the photo settings, the setting that I really liked the most was flexible selection of point. I tried the wide selection. It works in some cases, but I feel that I do a better job of moving the tracking on the subject. But there are certain times where the tracking does work well on wide, but I prefer to use the actual flexible M spot for the actual shots. But the camera was responsive. I went ahead and switched out to the SanDisk Extreme Pro card, and I didn't have that same issue I had when I was shooting for color guard, where the memory card would slow down and you would have issues with buffering. But yeah, so as far as like buffering issues with the camera, pick up a SanDisk Extreme Pro card and you're not gonna have any problems. Now I didn't shoot in RAW for this event, but more than likely I'll probably shoot in RAW once the processing is available on the Sony cameras. But obviously shooting in RAW is gonna slow you down a little bit with your speed. But I don't know how the slow motion is gonna come out with the recordings, but hopefully it will in the demonstration video. The tracking is really great again, like I mentioned before with the video. And just some issues though is you do get that jelly effect. You do get a jelly effect when you're panning the camera around. So it is noticeable. I don't know how noticeable it's going to be in the video, but it is there. That jelly effect, that motion effect is very visible in the 4K video. But again, with that said, I'm your host, That Camera Guy, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye. I am so lame. I'm so lame.